and gentlemen, to WrestleSlam special. Jesus Christ. I am your host today, Matt Murphy. As you can see, I am out of breath. I pretty much ate up so much time we have right now, lads. But look, it is a professional day. We're saying professional. I'm holding a pen for some reason. We are joined by the two heads themselves. Jerry Colton, I am pointing to right now, I think. And Phil Conley, I am pointing to, I think.
Yeah.
And this is WrestleSlam, and I'm in the mood, lads, to talk nothing but wrestling. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, it was a busy week.
Good.
There was a lot there was a lot on.
A lot of goes and does, if I have to say it myself, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of positives and there was a lot of negativity and we'll get into it.
Yeah, we will. Jay, what about yourself, my lad?
Yeah, there was a lot of positives. Phil did say negatives. There was negatives too, but yeah, not a bad weekend. But yeah, I think we had a really bad pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, should we go to the bad pay-per-view or the surprisingly okay pay-per-view
Let's
first?
start with the bad one because this is on topic at the moment. Uh
Let's talk about the bad one.
I
That's
think
right.
it's probably the worst of the year.
Mm.
It's actually up
Mm.
there with like it's the worst the worst thing about this show was that it was predictable and boring. And there's nothing worse than a predictable, boring show, and nothing happened. And like I
Yeah,
know people are going to say, "Oh, but Stephanie McMahon's Hall of Fame." That they only did that to give us a pop because they had nothing else.
yeah. Yeah, I think I was gonna say that are you saying that it's up there with ECW dismember with to
Like
dismember?
it wouldn't be that bad, but it's like definitely the worst one in the last 10 years.
That was a big one. Yeah, because I always feel like if you have a predictable match card, then I think it's important to try and toss a few curves in to make it look like, oh wait, this won't happen. But if the prediction actually does happen, at least you can say it was predictable, but at least we got a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that vibe at all when it came to this. Derry, what do you think of Wrestlepalooza?
Yeah, it was interesting. I suppose the fact that I watched it next morning and I had obviously I put on the Brock Lesnar match with John Cena because obviously the boys wanted to watch it and yeah, it was just, you know what I mean? It was a weird one. I think, like, obviously for the fans, it was great. I mean, the fans that were in attendance because I suppose they had a new pay-per-view there. I suppose everyone's buzzing, you know, the kids are getting to see their heroes. But yeah, I thought it was quite poor. Like, look, the matches on paper were quite good, you know, but it's there was I think Stephanie Varga, I think she could have saved it really with her match. Obviously becoming champ. But yeah, it was just a strange one, you know. Surprised that Cena lost. But then I kind of get it then at the same time. But yeah, it was just I don't know. It reminded me of like a period around 3, 4 years ago where you had 4 or 5 matches and it was just really not good to watch. And you'd stay up and watch it here in Ireland and you'd be saying like, you know, what a waste of time. Why did I stay up all night to watch that?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I'm picking and choosing what I do now at the moment. Um.
yeah. I
You
think
have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I kind of watched Wrestlepalooza just because I was actually editing a show reel and I decided to toss on Wrestlepalooza in the background. And that was pretty much that. I got a feeling that this is kind of a background pay-per-view. You just like
Yeah.
toss it up when you're doing like chores around the house or something like that kind of way.
See, the thing
And
is
I did watch
with
it. Yeah.
the thing is with this one is that people are in it. Well, not here, but in America, they're paying $30 and they're used to paying 8, 9, 10, $11 for Netflix and
Mhm.
Peacock, and now the fact that this is $30, I think it's probably opened a lot of their eyes because they're probably thinking, oh, it's only $10, so we can just say, oh, this show was good or this show was whatever. But when you're paying more money, you could be way harsher on stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this was not received well at all. Um,
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
And I think I think that's the benefit of WWE being on Netflix is like everyone was like hesitant, but I was like, actually I still have a Netflix account anyway, just to watch TV shows and films
yeah,
that
yeah,
comes out.
yeah.
So having it also WWE playing was like I can see the benefits of it. But
For
let's
now,
talk about
anyway.
yeah, for now, like you said. But let's talk about the show itself. The show itself starts off bold. which is John Cena coming out and with all the Make-A-Wish kids. Is a lovely moment.
Yeah.
Lads, I'm going to be brutally honest right now. I thought John Cena's game plan was to have all those kids attack Brock Lesnar when he comes down the ramp for an
It
advantage.
would have been actually hilarious, but I don't think they'll ever do anything like that.
They won't.
No,
I
Brock.
thought, yeah, I thought that. I was like, wait, oh, that's another moment. Wait, Cena, what are you thinking? You still
Well,
feel that
it would have
hat?
been topical with that horror movie Weapons, but yeah.
Yeah, just they'll come out Brock Lesnar doing the run and everything like that because the big one. Um, but yeah, no. So Brock Lesnar came out. He had Paul Heyman out, announcing Brock Lesnar. He didn't give him like an F5, which is a big one. And yeah, but John Cena, he persevered. It was his retirement tour. He stood up in the ring. He confronted Brock Lesnar. He says, "You're not taking me down." And through all the fight and grit, John Cena actually took on Brock Lesnar. And with all his might, he got demolished brutally. Like it was
Mm.
just it
Yeah, and the thing
like
about this is because it was first, it kind of left a sour taste in your mouth. This is going to be bad.
yeah. Now this is a controversial, like say to myself, but John Cena and Brock Lesnar match in Survivor in SummerSlam, sorry, a while back. I know a lot of people liked it. I kind of liked it just to show how dominant Brock Lesnar is. But the fact that they did this now completely killed John Cena's momentum for the rest of the retirement tour. Do you think so, lads?
Yeah, I do.
Mm. I think, for me personally, I think it's setting up a rematch with Brock. Um,
You
You
think?
think so?
well, he's no match. John Cena has no one left that he can fight. Uh,
Mm.
I I love John Cena, and I can't envision Gunter and John Cena as his last match.
Yeah.
I think Brock Lesnar versus John Cena is his last match, especially after seeing that.
Yeah, makes sense actually. Yeah,
Well, it's an
Yeah.
emotional investment for older fans, and it's just Cena gets a nice win against Brock, and he think he's beat him one.
ah,
I think he's beat him one time.
and does Brock give him a hug at the end?
I'd like to think so.
Mm.
A little,
Yeah.
little hug and respect factor, like because they always kind of went at it. Like, so when Brock came back, he always seems to fucking tackle Cena. Like,
And the thing
Yeah.
is, Cena only has 5 wrestling appearances left as
And
well.
we need
hmm,
to know about John Cena about when he made the debut of his Attitude Adjustment at the time of the FU. It was actually a parody of Brock Lesnar's F5, if you remember,
Yeah,
when he did on
yeah,
Brock Lesnar. So it was kind of nice that they actually acknowledged, their time of rivalry, even when they were back in South in Salt Docks back then, the developmental area.
yeah.
It was kind of nice, but I'm a fan of this one. I would like to see John Cena showing the never give up attitude by calling out Lesnar, and Cena actually will once again get the shite beat out of him at SummerSlam,
But he'll keep
but
getting
he
up.
actually
yeah.
will
Yeah, he'll
go
keep getting
through.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and yeah, the
Mm.
handshake at the end.
yeah.
Now, personally, I would love to see Adam at least AEW and WWE make a deal and see Edge coming back for at least having one match with Cena before he goes. But yeah, it's like what Phil said. Besides that, I can't think of anyone else Cena can face because I think I can see where WWE is going with this. They're making him facing off against his old classic rivalries. You know, I everyone says that he should face Kevin Owens because that was actually a pretty really good recent rivalry. But it was like we have, like you said, 5 more wrestling appearances as a
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing is, it's 5 appearances and only 2 Raws, I think, which is
yeah
which is kind of I don't want to use the word worrying, but it's kind of like how do you build a match without him being on the shows?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It is,
yeah
but I think they know what they're doing, lads. I think they're gonna do a swerve shortly.
Yeah.
Could be wrong though.
yeah. So we said this before, but so we don't think we're gonna find out what the fuck is the deal with The Rock? No, no.
I think The Rock now's focusing on movies because apparently
Yeah,
he's after an Oscar with this new one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think I read somewhere today The Rock is gonna come back. Did you see that?
Well, it's the Saudi Arabia show. This is 2 year, 1.5 year down the line. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I actually was talking to a friend of mine. he's actually not a wrestling fan, but he knows about Cena's heel turn. When I told him what's going on, he says, "But what's the deal with him and The Rock?" I just shrugged my shoulders, and he was like, "Oh, are they gonna leave it up in the air?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think they have a plan for this."
Yeah,
I was like,
Yeah,
"Let's
yeah.
just yeah." So the
unfortunately.
John Cena turned heel, and that's it, nothing else. But
Yeah.
yeah, moving on, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker taking on the Usos now with LA Knight as the was announced as the special guest referee. What's your thoughts on this one, lads?
It was fine. Like again,
Wasn't, yeah.
yeah, no, it was a dodgy ending. Like I think Jey Uso knocked himself out, um,
Yeah.
and I think they had to rush it. But I didn't. I thought the right team won, but it was just I didn't think it was very good.
Mm, okay. Yeah, it wasn't as good. It was like one of those, unfortunately, the tag matches. I thought that the reason why LA Knight was in there is because I think WWE knew that not a lot of people would be invested with this, so we're just gonna toss in a spanner in the
Yeah,
works, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
And the thing is, this is the first time the Usos properly tagged up in 18 months or something. Uh,
Yeah. I may have missed something maybe I sneezed and something happened, but I think it was Jey Uso. Did he turn heel at
I know
least?
it's on the verge of it. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, right, okay. But
Yeah,
slowly but surely.
yeah. It's a
Um,
stupid move because the kids love him. But anyway,
yeah, okay. Remember when he won the Royal Rumble? Let's move on.
I don't.
Stephanie Verja were defeated Io Sky to win the women's tag title. Um, this is me. I don't want to be negative on the show, but I completely forgot about that women's title. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. What do you thought about that match now?
Um,
Um,
yeah, no, it
it
was
was
good.
it was
It's probably the
it
best
was
match.
all right.
It's the best match on it.
Really? Okay.
I know. I think it was because I just think it has the same problem as a lot of stuff on the show. My brother said it perfectly. They're soulless. There's nothing,
Yeah.
no emotion to anything.
But even right now, there's no emotion to us. Even like talking about this pay-per-view, like it's
It's very flat and
every
very dead. Yeah,
yeah, it's like every podcast that's gone on about this have all been the same. Like we're all here, we're three Irish lads, been watching around the world, but everyone's reaction. I watched a podcast last night. The lads they were over in Boston and they're on about it, and it was like they were doing an after show because obviously they're in America, it's still early, like it finishes at 10 o'clock or whatever time. They were just
Yeah.
saying like it was like they were on about obviously Division versus the Usos, the fact that Division won, and then they brought up Brock and Cena, obviously Punk and AJ Lee, but it was just all flat performances. But I will say one thing about Stephanie, I think she saved the pay-per-view. I really do. Like Brock and Cena, look, that was grand. Short match, 8 minutes odd, but like I think Stephanie did save this pay-per-view somewhat. I think it was something that people are talking about in a positive.
and the thing
Mm.
is, that was only done because Triple H promised like surprises and they had nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so that was the very winning the women's title. Before we move on to the next matches, let's go ahead and talk about this now, lads. The big surprise, which is Stephanie McMahon, is now the first inductee in the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
Um, Again, I don't want to sound negative. It was just weird that the Undertaker had to say it, Steph, because I was like the first thing I thought of was like the Undertaker was gonna say, "So are we cool?" But the first time we met, I tricked you into an unconsented wedding. Remember when I tied you on the
Hmm.
cross and everything? That we cool about that? Well, you're gonna be in the Hall of Fame, Steph. Congrats about that.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts? Do you think that was an attempt to save the show? Because I thought that it was like I kind of thought it was a bit too early.
no, like it was just a surprise for a surprise, and again, she does deserve it, and she is very, very.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not holding that back, but like going in before even Vince as well. I know there's a
yeah.
lot of controversy and all about that, but like, who would have thought that 20 years ago?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I think I know a lot of people has a lot of bad taste because she was a part of a lot of dodgy storylines. We need to say like,
Yeah,
and I was like thinking, please at least acknowledge her with she was a huge role in like the women's revolution in WWE coming back,
yeah.
completely scrapping the Diva era and everything like that. Jerry, what about yourself? You're a Stephanie McMahon fan yourself?
Yeah, I'm such a dickhead that I had a chance to go over and chat to her and I opted out. Still haunts me to this day that I ended up chatting to Elias and I had a chance to chat with Stephanie. But yeah, look, I am a massive Stephanie fan. She's been on our screens, guys, since we were kids. Especially you, man. You're a lot younger than us, but yeah, look, it's definitely deserved. Definitely deserved. Um, I've always liked Steph. I think she is great for business, and do you know what? I really believe that she has genuine um, interest in the company in the sense of she wants the fans to have the best and she wants to look after the women's division, make sure everything is, above board. And you always hear stories of John Cena talking highly about Steph. A lot of the wrestlers talk highly about Steph. She's just, she's a different gravy. Do you know what I mean? She really is. And I'm glad. Look, I know it's a couple of months away, but I'm glad she has been inducted. Who's going to induct her? That will be interesting. Will it be Triple H? Is it going to be someone else? But
Trish
I
Stratus.
can't wait.
I like
Yeah,
to I like to say, and this isn't just like for publicity studies. I would love to see John Cena inductor, one of the inductees, because we need to realize that John Cena was gonna get his contract expired or leased, but he
yeah.
was on the bus with
She said
Stephanie.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shin said that, oh, I heard you doing some raps. Can you do that? And then they extended his contract, and he became who he is. So it was because of Stephanie like
Yeah.
saved his career. So maybe John Cena will be one of the inductees. Same with Trish Stratus, as Phil said, and of course I feel like Triple H will be one of the inductees as well.
Yeah, his name will always be floating around as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and also her brother Shane. We need to realize is in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is off topic,
Definitely.
but like speaking of, because we're on the topic of Hall of Fame, Mickey James is going into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big one. Hardcore country herself, lads. What do you thought about that?
It's probably
Yeah, deserves it.
really well deserved again. Yeah, it's nice to
Yeah.
see as well. It's actually unexpected. I was thinking that it might have been Monty Brown or someone, but like, it's actually surprising. Well, it's not really surprising these days because WWE allow crossovers. So
Yeah, and I will say this now, I think it's obvious. If you ask me which career she had better, W or TNA, I'm like gonna have to be her running TNA.
probably has
Definitely.
more meat to the bone in that one. All right.
Yeah, that
Mm.
was it. Especially that she got more freedom. Especially like I feel like she's in the position now with TNA where she can be one of the talks backstage
Yeah.
of like one of the help producers and all that kind of way.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would love to see. Actually, funny enough, you mentioned Phil about Trish Stratus. I would love to see Trish Stratus come to TNA just to induct her,
Yeah, no, it
because
would be
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I don't know who else would do it. Um, Under the TNA, Awesome Kong maybe.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think Awesome Con, yeah, she was incredible actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, especially her. Like so there's a big one over with Mickey James, and definitely like she deserves it. I feel like, no doubt.
yeah.
Um, but let's go back to Wrestlepalooza Power True. This to me was the most exciting match of the night. I liked it still, but it had to be CM Punk and L and AJ Lee taking on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and of course CM Punk and L and AJ picked up the win. It was a bit of a predictable match, to be honest,
Yeah.
but I did like the moments. It was great to see LJ, LA, AJ. I can't speak today.
LJ Cleary.
AJ Lee, LJ Cleary. I almost said it was like LJ Cleary,
Oh,
but
night.
AJ Lee. It was great seeing her back in the ring. She still got it. My 17-year-old self was like leaping all over the place. Um, but the real question is, lads, where do you think this is going to go next? Now,
Um,
Single match, I think we'll get single matches definitely, but I think they should try and draw it out maybe. I take the match at the Rumble and maybe Mania you could do something, I don't know.
yeah, like for right now, they're moving to Rollins versus Rhodes again, which again,
yeah.
I don't want to see anymore.
Hmm.
I think people are tired. Like again, people are paying $30. You need fresh matchups, and
Mm,
Yeah.
they fought like on and off for nearly 3 years now.
They
Um,
did, yeah, yeah.
so yeah, but I thought the match itself was too long. Um,
Mm,
I think it was 30 odd minutes, which was mental for that. For that.
yeah. No, it
Um,
Yeah.
was.
and the thing is, we'd only 5 matches. You could have cut out 12 minutes and gave another match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe you just have like Punk coming in with Seth Rollins, and the whole chunk of the match would just be a build up of, oh, is he going to tag in AJ Lee?
Yeah,
And then it happens with AJ Lee like taking over Becky Lynch, and that'll be it, kind of like boom, bam, bam,
yeah,
done. But like you said, we didn't have to have a whole 30-minute matchup of it. Like,
no. And it
then,
was just like
yeah,
I liked some of it. I just thought it was way too long. And again, probably would see it on a Raw or a SmackDown. You
mm,
could.
mm. Yeah, I definitely want to see like a AJ Lee like actually having a good run with WWE. I love to
Yeah.
see her rivalry against Rhea Ripley. I love to see her rivalry against continue with Becky Lynch. See what it is. Love to see her taking on Lyra Valkyrie of all
Yeah. I think
people.
the main problem with WWE right now is these storylines lasting way too long. Like,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah,
no fresh matches at all. It's tough because even guys in NXT aren't given a chance, even when they come
mm,
up.
yeah.
I'd be very worried for the next 5 years for if they're going to continue like this. I
mm,
know they're going to be getting all the money, and I know they're going, but people are just not going to watch it. Like they're just not going
yeah.
to. And I'm a
'Cause,
fan for like 30 odd years, and this is the worst I've ever seen it because it's so soulless and it's all about money and it's all about greed and there's just nothing to it.
yeah,
I don't care about anything that they're putting on, and it's a sad thing to say, an absolute sad thing to
Mm,
say.
yeah, and I feel like WWE will pick up the pace down the line, but it's just right now they're slowly going back into that slump again. Because
yeah,
that'll lead into like when you talk about long storylines, we are going to lead to the main event, which is Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
And personally, lads, I want this rivalry just to be put to an end right now.
yeah.
To me,
Drew should have
and
won,
that
but yeah, I know what you're saying.
I was actually pulling for Drew to win this one,
He should have
and
won
not
it.
because I think Drew should have had like a proper title run. It's because I want this to be end in a very unpredictable way. Because it was
mm,
like, oh, Cody won, that's no surprise. But the way the show went, I was like, you need to toss in something new. Give to the title to Drew.
Yeah,
Give him a good run for it. But then they had to have it give it to Cody. Like,
yeah.
what's everyone's thoughts on like Cody and Drew?
Average and not great, and that's all I'm going to say because I didn't like it, especially
Yeah,
because Cody Rhodes should be he just needs a change big time. The man needs a big change.
heel turn.
I something, yeah, exactly.
Mm,
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think it's
yeah,
In
just at the
agreement.
point now where his matches are predictable and samey, and then and then there's nothing happening, and he's holding up the belt at the end of the show, and people are going, God, this again.
Yeah,
yeah. Jay, what about yourself?
in agreement. I think. Listen, I love Cody.
I do too, and that's the
Um,
problem. I actually think he's brilliant.
it's was. I just think right now, I suppose he doesn't need to be champion. Obviously, look, I get why they're doing it, just trying to build up his criteria, and obviously, you know what I mean. He's on a mission in WWE since he's returned. But yeah, I think you know what I mean. I think that belt can move around a bit more. You know, I have no problem seeing three different champions in the air. Now, don't get me wrong. Like Roman Reigns, his reign was incredible, and I'm all for someone having the belt for 2, 3, 4 years. But yet again, I'd love to see Drew become champion again. I'd love to see Sheamus become Intercontinental champion. I think that's the only one he hasn't got. Just a few things like that, like a few tweaks, because yet again, you know, I'm off feeling at the moment. You know what I mean? I think Drew's been incredible. I
Yeah,
think they missed the ball with LA Knight. There was a stage he should have been champion. Now that might revert back to him. I would not say no to LA being, you know, champion. But yeah, look, I'm a big Drew fan. I'm a big Cody fan. But there's something about Drew just has me dragged in and you know inserted and watching, and you know I just hope he becomes champion again.
yeah. And I'm very worried for
Yeah,
what's going to happen to Drew now after this.
yeah.
Because I noticed something in this match that bugged me. He's trying to do a fake injury. He's not injured at all. This is just
Yeah.
a way to get him out of the limelight for a few weeks and then bring him back. But like, I think they're at a point now where they need to change their whole. I nearly scrap their whole product and start again. It's that bad.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I
No,
agree.
in
But
agreement.
I
I
just think
hope
even a
that,
draft won't even help it. Like it's just that bad.
yeah, and
Mm.
it's kind of funny. I'm invested with the draft for now, but yeah, I just want to see Drew becoming a world champion once again, like Jerry said, have a problem. But I feel like whenever he's in the rivalry with someone like Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes, I feel like that we've already seen this way done. And
We've seen
you know, if
everything.
you want
Like
to go
all
the
the
right
wrestlers are
way,
there for the last 15, 10 years, and there's no fresh matches, and there's no young fellas coming through, and it's just like, lads, we've seen it. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch Cody Rhodes. The only Cody Rhodes and Rollins, I don't want to see it again. I just don't. I'm sorry, but I just
Yeah.
don't want to
yeah,
watch that match again. And especially for
yeah,
belts,
but
that means nothing.
Yeah. Completely
yeah,
understand. Like,
um, I
Yeah.
I think I think going back is like usually what if you want a great rivalry, like a great rivalry, look back on past rivalries, what they do is they don't like push on with the matches. Sometimes they like to leave it breathe a bit. Like, one match, then another match, and then they leave each other alone and come back again. That's
The
kind of
old
what
days were
makes
great. Like
the rivalry happen.
you'd have three pay-per-views. They'd fight in three matches in a row, and then they wouldn't fight again for like 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Nowadays, it's like
But
one match, and then they break for like a little bit, and then they're back on it again.
mm,
Like, well, I guarantee you, it's going to
yeah,
be Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee at WrestleMania. I guarantee you for the
yeah,
Intercontinental belt, where AJ Lee wins the Intercontinental belt at WrestleMania.
like this. Like this, I don't know, but like, are you saying they're gonna do like a CM Punk with LJ? I'm doing it again. AJ Lee.
one of them days.
Sorry, yeah, but with her like, being the underdog again, showing that she can still do it.
Yeah, I think that's just it. Like, I think AJ Lee beats Becky for the IC belt, and I think that's where they're going with this. And I have an
Yeah,
awful feeling that Lyra is going to be in a women's world title match
yeah.
at WrestleMania as
So
well.
we're under time, but we're gonna power through this as much as we can. Let's talk about the other pay-per-view, as we said. That's AEW All Out. We won't be getting through all the matches. But lads, did you get a chance to watch this one?
Yep. I thought this was everything that other pay-per-view should have been. It's full of surprises, and it was just really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best match to me, believe it or not, is MJF was taking on Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
One of Mark Briscoe's best matches, especially that he won this one. I thought it was going to be MJF, but really it was like Mark wins, and I thought it was like this is a good moment for everything like that. Jay, what about yourself? What was the highlight of AEW All Out if you get a chance?
Yeah, I think there was many factors, like, you know what I mean. I liked the whole fucking Adam Copeland, the entrance. There was lots of stuff. I suppose, you know what I mean. There's fucking, I don't know. Try to pinpoint one.
For me, it was Jurassic Express because they're one of my favorite tag teams. I was like,
With
yep,
the hug at the end, yeah, the
and
hug
the
at the end.
song and the crowd, and it was just
Yeah,
this is what we want to be watching. The crowd were going
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
And
Ooh,
then, yeah,
ooh,
and then obviously the other thing was Moxie being set on fire was a bit extreme, but I'll take it.
typical Mox.
yeah, Mark. Yeah, like you said, definitely sounds like typical Marks and all that kind of way.
Yeah.
But
Right, guys, that is another episode of Wrestle Slam, the podcast. Technical difficulties happen sometimes. That's what happens when you have the Wi-Fi. But yet again, look, we'll be back next week. I'm going to say well done to Matt Murphy and hosting a great show yet again. Technical difficulties, cut them off. But from myself, Jerry Collin, from the host Matt Murphy, and from the one and only Phil Connolly. We will catch you soon, guys. This is Wrestle Slam, the podcast, brought to you by the McCoke Casino Cork City and Sports Matters TV. We'll see you soon, guys. Adios.